First question to you today is you've been around innovation for over 2 decades, building successful businesses, helping businesses thrive. What have you learned about innovation, and why do people sometimes consider it really hard to deliver innovation successfully?
Great to be here, and I'm happy to share our insights from all our work. Unfortunately, innovation is a really overused word. Lots of people use it for lots of things, and they put lots of meaning behind it that's not really there. Innovation is just people coming up with ideas to help them work better, help them make change happen, and just doing it. It's a very simple concept, and the simpler people think about it, the better. So Hargreaves Institute was founded at the Australian Graduate School of Management. I did a research project there to write the book on how large organisations innovate. And I learned very quickly that there are lots and lots of books out there, and there's so much information out there about what people should do to become more innovative. And so we focused on how people actually do it, what actually works. And so I've read all the books, and we believe in all the different types of tools. But what are the actual things that people do to make innovation happen in their organisation? And what we found is, number one, it's all about people and diversity. And number two, it's all about collaboration. It's about people working together.
And I really like the way you position your definition around innovation.
Our definition is implementing ideas that add value, 4 simple words. And we start off with the word implementing. So innovation only happens when you get the job done, when you actually implement it. So it's implementing first. Ideas is second, and it doesn't matter where the idea comes from. It doesn't matter how creative, how not creative. It really depends on where you are and what type of work you're doing as to what type of innovation you'll end up doing, because it's what's in front of you. It's what your everyday work is. And 80% of all innovations are people copying other people's work in a different business or a different location and doing it themselves. So where the idea comes from is not important. What's important is implementing it. And the last part is adds value. And so, yes, at the end of the day, you only want to innovate something if you actually make it better. So that's our definition, implementing ideas that add value.
Why do you think it's really important now that service-based enterprises start to really invest in innovation and continue to have the right focus on innovation in their business?
Well, I always go back to the famous quote from Albert Einstein that says insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. I have my own version of that, which is insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting the same result. And I say that because the world has changed. And if we keep doing what we used to do, we will not be successful. We have to change because, yes, we've had a pandemic. Also, there's a whole bunch of competitors out there that are actually driving changes, and people's expectations are changing.
What have you seen as some of the major barriers or the impediments to actually get innovation done?
The biggest impediment to getting innovation done is the busy syndrome, which is we're all busy, and we're all busy doing our day work, and our hours in our week are fully allocated. And so suddenly to do an innovation means you've got to stop doing something, think, develop, plan, spend some time in order to come up with the idea, to come up with the proposal, and then to implement it. And most innovations don't start off as well as they finish. So if you're incredibly good at doing something, a historical process, and then you want to change to a new process, you sort of like step back before you step forward. And that takes time and effort. And so the biggest issue is that people are just busy.
If we were to hold ourselves accountable for running a successful innovation program, what would that look like?
So a couple of things. Innovation programs fall into a couple of buckets. One bucket is what's called ideas first innovation, and the other bucket is people first innovation. If you're running an innovation program, what's the most important thing? Is it the fact that you've got these great ideas that you're going to implement and do things and change, or is it the fact that you've got great people engaged in your program? And we recommend for a services organisation that people-led innovation is what you want to focus on, because the brains of a service organisation, the knowledge, the intellectual property rests in the heads of all your service people. So you've got to maximise that. The second way to look at innovation is there's top down and bottom up. Top down is when there's a new strategy, a new way of working, something big that has to be started at the top and then filtered down. And then there's bottom up innovation, where you have really good ideas coming from the teams of people that they put into a system and they get looked at. And the critical element in a service organisation is obviously both. In a strategy, you have to decide whether you're going top down or bottom up. The critical element is listening. The top down leaders have to listen to the bottom up ideas and what they're going on, because the people at the bottom, dealing with the consumers, are the people that really know what's happening in the coalface, and the leaders have to listen, right? Also, when there is a top down initiative and there's a reason for it, like AI or new tech or something coming from somewhere, the people at the front line also have to listen too. And they have to say, well, hang on, this thing's coming, right? We know it's going to happen, but you have to listen. And so one of the big strategic things that we focus on is meaningful conversations. How do you get people to have really, really good conversations? So my core belief is diversity. Getting a diverse bunch of brains in a room to talk about a problem, to me, is the best way to help solve that problem. Having a list on an ideas bank is really, really nice, but you can't read it. And how do you evaluate it, and how many people can look at it? And when you bring a team together to work on a problem, two things happen. Potentially you can solve the problem, right? And you build a much more high performing team, because they learn how to collaborate, they learn how to work together, and they might go on and solve other problems. So you get two bangs for your buck when you have a focused event. But the one I absolutely love is that in any cohort of people, there are some people who are crazy creative types. There are some people who are great at getting things done. There are some people that just want to support other people and be team players. And so by bringing teams together, you bring out the best of everybody, but they all play their different role. I can't emphasize enough that the best innovative organizations I've ever worked for have great teams. They have great teams that know how to collaborate, work together, have meaningful conversations. Teams is the tool of successful innovation.